through the second layer of like these behaviors and
Hmm.
see where they stem from, and I was like, according to this book, like I do fit the
I meet this. So, what are some of
yeah
those criterias that you notice, like some of the symptoms that you experience on a daily basis that supported those diagnoses,
yeah
especially major depression?
I think the first symptom was like was like you had like a down mood for like
Mm-hmm.
over 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Had a down mood for over 2 weeks. I wish I had the book in front of
Yep.
me
You
so
don't
like
enjoy the things that you usually enjoy.
right, you don't
Okay.
enjoy the
Trouble
thing.
sleeping,
Right,
racing negative thoughts,
right.
um,
Check,
decreased appetite,
check,
um, anger, irritation.
check.
Okay. And those are just amongst a few. And depression is one of those diagnoses that go undiagnosed because we're so used to feeling that way. We're so used to feeling drained because we're just taught to go, keep going. Oh, you're just tired. You're just tired. You're just this. No, I am depressed.
Right.
Okay. And imagine actually having a mental health issue and you are suffering and somebody's like, oh, no, you're okay. You're just tired. Take a nap. Depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain. There is no nap that can cure it. Okay, and that's why so many people self medicate because they've taken that nap. They've rested, but the depression has not stopped. Those symptoms have not stopped. The crying has not stopped. Okay, so now I have to figure out a way to stop it on my own. Okay,
Right.
and Aaron, tell me about stopping it on your own. Tell me what that looks like.
Stopping what, the depression?
Yeah. Without therapy, how did you try to cope with depression before therapy?
Before therapy, like I try to cope how I seen the older guys from my neighborhood who I look up
Mhm.
to. I cope the
Mhm.
same way that they cope, which is for lack of a better term, like designer drugs.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oxycodone, Percocet,
Lean.
promethazine, and
Mhm.
codeine,
Mhm.
Vicodin, and all that type of stuff.
All the drugs that they dance about in the songs too. Okay.
Yeah, all the stuff Future be rapping about.
Mhm.
We
All the
was we
stuff we
was really on
normalize.
that. We was
Okay.
really on that.
Dirty Sprite.
Yeah. When Dirty Sprite came out, we it was like a religion. It was swear to God, it was like a religion when Dirty.
Double cup. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did those designer drugs make you feel? What did it do to your depression?
I mean, looking back, it probably just distract. It just was a distraction. It
Mhm.
was a distraction that was tearing my body up.
Huh, what I call it is the pause. Okay, it only pauses things. Okay, until the side effects wear off, and then it is back. And then 9 times out of 10, it is intensified. More things have taken place, so it's a lot bigger than what it was the last time you paused.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
this self medication, that's not it. It's not an end to your depression.
Right.
It's still there.
It really just make it worse because the the most dangerous part is the withdrawal. Like
Mm.
once you drink lean for 2 weeks or more, like on a consistent basis, and take Percocet on a consistent basis for over 2 weeks, and you develop a dependency. This not a medicine that the doctor is giving you because you broke your leg or something. This is something you buying on the street, so you don't got no refill. Like once you run out of money, like your supply run out. Once you run out of money, and I went broke a lot of times buying Percocet. I used to have a handful of Percocet like it was Skittles. Once that run out and you go broke, you go through withdrawal, and once you go through opioid withdrawal, I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
And in addition to individual and family and couple counseling, I work in addictions. Okay, and seeing these withdrawals. Okay, what he's talking about. This starts off as most of the time. Sometimes it starts off as fun because you guys hear about how Percocets is fun and that's the you lit when you high, you lit, and now that's fun. But over time, chemical dependency occurs. It ain't no way around it. Your body wants that dopamine. Okay, when we do drugs, our brains light up. It's like fucking Christmas time. And then you think you're going to take that drug away and the brain is not going to want to light up like that again? It's going to seek it. And now your brain has associated with the problem. Because now every time I have a problem, I do the drug. So now anytime a problem comes, the brain's like, where's the fucking drug? Where's the drug?
Yeah,
And now you guys are dependent. And the financial impact of drug dependency. Your money,
that's,
your money.
that's the worst part.
Okay?
The
Yes.
worst part.
So there are freer and safer ways to take care of yourselves. You
Yeah,
don't have to see the hood pharmacist. Okay, you can see the
yeah.
hood therapist. Okay, work on it that
You
way.
can see the hood therapist or the hood personal trainer.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, because that is the best coping skill. Okay,
Yeah.
to move your body, right? And so we talked about depression. What about that panic disorder?
Panic disorder. Yeah, this both of them both of them is crazy because it's people in the neighborhood that show symptoms of both, but
Mm-hmm.
like it kind of be normalized. So you might be going through depression and panic attacks, but since you personally know five other people that's going through it in your head, you might be like it's a normal thing, but really it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But the panic thing by itself, it's dangerous because you can't. Your focus is like the size of a prayer. You can't really.
Mm.
You just focused on that one little thing. You can't really expand your horizons when you panic, and it's like you living your life with a firearm to your head. Everything is just so sudden. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that pinpoint you talking about, that's hypervigilance. Okay? When we're panicking, we become hypervigilant. We focus on whatever we perceive as a danger. And a panic disorder means that your body's alarm system no longer works properly. It perceives danger when there is none. And
right,
the scariest shit about that is that living in Baltimore City can automatically qualify you for some sort of panic disorder or anxiety disorder. Okay?
yeah,
Because we see and experience so much. As a child, I remember my grandmother she went to play cards one night and I did not want to go. It was New Year, so I stayed at home. And I remember hearing those gunshots vividly and then finding a closet and hiding in that closet. Okay? And I am not supposed to hear gunshots like in Iraq. It
right,
sounded like a war zone. Now, and I was in my home. Imagine the children, right? Whose parents did not have a home for them, whose children were just outside. Right?
right.
How many things do you think that you've seen as a man in this city that you probably shouldn't have saw? Well, you can't say that because we are here, right? But do you think that you've seen a lot of shit that you're not supposed to see and experience as a person?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I seen outside, I wouldn't post to see
Mm-hmm.
a lot, like, and it'd be like when you growing up seeing it, you can't you like I said, you so young seeing it, you can't think it's normal. Like you might see somebody passed out going through a opioid overdose or like that. You might see the ambulance come get somebody and hit them with the Narcan and bring them back. Like you saying that at a young age, it kind of just changes your perspective. So like as you get older, it's like a normal thing
And I
in
hate that.
Baltimore. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a normal thing, but it'll um it'll change your perspective in a bad way.
Right? And our streets are like the war zones. How many people are being murdered, right, on
Yeah,
a regular basis? And I think about when I grew up. Okay, 35, turned 35 this year, and I grew up Winchester Street. Okay, but my grandmother moved, and I started to stay out in the county with my aunt.
right.
Okay, and I distinctively remember still following all of my friends that I grew up with from Winchester and just seeing the amount of people that they've lost compared to me. And
Yeah,
like our ages wasn't different. Our environments was different. They
right.
were losing friends. They were going to funerals in high school. I didn't really go to funerals. I was graduating when I started going to funerals. My nephew was 14 when he had a friend die.
Yeah.
Like I had my 15-year-old homeboy got killed. God, what? The
Right.
most thing that we was playing cops and robbers and hide and go freak. They're in the drug game.
Yeah, it ain't no game out here. The
Okay?
drug game ain't no game.
And that is repeated exposure to trauma. So how is it possible that we think that we're not going to have these panic disorders, these anxiety disorders when you're constantly seeing shit you're not supposed to see? So now your brain is going to constantly think that there is danger. Our brain's number one focus is to keep us safe. So if just living is dangerous, being vulnerable is dangerous, our brain is going to do everything possible to protect us from those things because it's been identified as a danger. And that's where anxiety can kind of fuck us because vulnerability, while it may seem dangerous, we need it. But now we've learned to fear it.
Absolutely.
How you overcome it if you ain't figuring it out and going to therapy?
That's the thing. You don't figure it out, and it's like at the same time you better do something before it's too late.
Mm-hmm. And what are some things that show you like it's too late? Like when you notice like shit, my mental health is so off. Like what showed you that
Mm.
it was off?
What showed me that it was off like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I see like I see that rich homie Quan passed away like a couple days ago, but
Mm.
I feel like I was going down that same route, and I say that because I was reading some article last night, and they was saying like he had a video shoot or something, and he had went into a seizure and cracked the skull or something like that.
Mm.
And like I was at that point where between between withdrawal from downer and withdrawal from uppers, um, it'll make you go to a seizure. And like
Mm.
I was at that point where once I got to a point where I was having seizures, I was like, yeah, like only thing next is death. Because
Mm.
if I'm driving and I have a seizure, it's over with. So once so like I so how that was my first. It was signs before that, but when that sign came,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't no brushing it off. It wasn't no like. I was like, yeah, I gotta do something. That was the sign that made me choose a different path.
Mm-hmm. Can you notice poor mental health in your friends?
Yeah, for sure. I could notice it
Mm-hmm. Do you say something?
briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if like if I feel like somebody gonna listen, or like if somebody, I'm not gonna preach it. Like I'm not just gonna come on the block with a microphone in the speaker.
Like your uncle used to do though.
Yeah, I need. Maybe I should start, but not
Mm-hmm.
quite yet. But
I hope that this is the start though. Like this begins the conversation.
yeah, this right. We getting there.
Yeah, because
We
we need to
getting there.
normalize this. We need to have these conversations because we need to be able to pull our homeboy up. It's like, yeah, you was lit as shit last night, but I noticed that after you got lit, you kept drinking. Okay, and then you kept drinking, and then you hit the lean, and then it was like, hey, you passed having fun, and I'm thinking you try and run from something. Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
Nigga, fuck out of here. We not like you can just imagine the responses, but it has to happen because we have to let men know that it's okay not to be okay. I, I don't know how many times I ask somebody, "How you doing?" I'm all right, and then as a therapist, I'm watching your body language. Ain't nothing about you, are you just fucking lied to my face? So what's really good? Like the fact that I gotta get like that to really get an answer.
yeah,
Like I get like a bully to get an answer about how you really feeling.
yeah.
Uh,
That's how it was set up out here. Like people, there's a lot of people that's like a little bit further in my journey than the average person, but there's a lot of people that still wholeheartedly believe these myths that we discussing.
Right. And so it definitely looks like these myths got y'all in a chokehold. Okay. And we see it too much. I don't want to lose anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a simple fix.
Right.
Like how much better did you feel once you started to do therapy and figure things out?
Um, it took a little time, but once I started therapy, I felt like, cause that's the thing in the community in the black. I'm not gonna say, for lack of a better term, the black community. That's the thing. Is like don't really acknowledge your feelings. You can say how you feel all you want, but
Damn.
it's rare to have somebody that say even just to say I agree with you. Like you start being vulnerable and start saying how you really truly feel. It's most of the time it's gonna be, oh, he on some clown ass shit, or oh, he's soft, or get him out of here. It's gonna be something of that nature. So like saying for somebody just to say I agree with you and
Damn.
things of that nature, I felt more in alignment.
Something so fucking small, like, hey, I see you. Like, I agree with you. Damn. Like, just acknowledging your struggle.
Right.
And what immediately came to mind was Tyrese. You know the meme that goes around of him crying?
Yeah.
Like, that man was really sad about his child. And we laughed for days, months. Laughed. And that's why, and then you look underneath the comments, every time somebody says, that's why men don't say shit. That's why men don't say shit. Here go another reinforcing reason of why men don't say shit.
Yeah, we could be all day about why men don't say shit. We could go all day about that.
Okay? Why y'all don't say shit? I'm tired of y'all not being able to say shit. Y'all deserve a voice.
Yeah.
Okay? And deserve a seat at the table. Okay? And deserve to heal from generational trauma. Imagine if you had a dad that said, hey, it's okay to have feelings.
Yeah, it ain't no telling. Like I feel like if I had a dad that was on that type of time, because like I said, I had shelter, I had food, like, and when I say shelter, like we stayed up until now, like my mom still got the same house that we grew up in, like we
Good.
never left that community, and so I had adequate shelter, I had adequate clothes, I had adequate food. That's the basics, but like after you got that, I feel like that piece,
Emotional piece.
yeah, that emotional piece or that father figure or
Mm-hmm.
somebody to be there. That I feel like that figure is what propel you like to go to
Give you security.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and propel you to a whole nother level. If
Mm-hmm.
I'd have had that, it ain't no telling where I would have been at.
And so we got to think about the things that we discussed today, right? We've talked about getting help, right, versus self medication, and talked about all the myths and the pressures that it has on men, right? So to conclude, you guys are up against a lot,
For
okay?
sure.
And self medication is not working. We're seeing you decrease in alarming numbers. You guys are being murdered at an alarming rate, not just by guns, by the things that you do to yourselves. Okay. So we do want to I need a call to action, okay? So that men can know that it's okay not to be okay, that you guys can have a seat, right? And so after where we're going after this, we have to explore relationships, men in relationships, okay? We got to explore work. Okay,
Right.
that relationships is the shit. Okay, that's where all of these things kind of bubble up, where you really get to see how fucked up y'all really got over this shit. Okay, and we're going to dive deeper into this experience, okay, and more of this journey. And at the end of this, you're going to see how Aaron really overcame this, how he used physical training, how he used exercise, okay, and denounced the things that society gave to him, and used actual coping skills that we learned on this journey. Okay, so I'd like to thank you for taking some time out with us today, Aaron. What you think?
Yeah, I feel as though we on the right path, and I feel as though ultimately, like I said, seeking professional help, I don't feel as though it's nothing. I personally feel as though it's nothing wrong with it. I feel as though seeing a professional like yourself put me more on a path to alignment and things I believe in. But not even that. I feel as though it put me in better rooms. It put seeing a professional. It put me in rooms that I actually that's in alignment with who I want to be
Yeah,
next.
help them find his true self.
Right,
Okay.
and even places like because if I never would have started working out, I never would have traveled to a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
If I never
Mm.
started working out, I would have never went to Miami.
Never made it out the hood.
Yeah, I would have never left. I
Mm-hmm.
would have never left. Like
Okay, falling victim to what everybody else falls: jail, death.
right, exactly. I swear, um, that's probably I would have been on that route. Probably not dead on jail, but going through
Yeah, on
with
your
the
way there, you know.
yeah,
Okay, but today we want to make sure that everybody has access to mental health services. Okay, and I am a mental health professional, so at this point, please look me up. Okay, Psychology Today. But also, if you're ever on Ricestown Road, that is where my office is on Live Benevolent. Okay, so if you need help or you need to speak with a mental health professional, please call 443-835-3539 and get us signed up with a therapist today. And Aaron lets you know that it's okay to do it. Okay, so if you're a man and you feeling a little, and you might not trust us yet, but watch us again and keep watching, and you'll start to trust us soon.
For sure.
For sure. I'm still Aaron time for sure. Okay, we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for joining us. I've been waiting my whole life for this.
The whole life to tell the story, and I'm glad that you guys are here to hear it. And I'm glad I can help tell it. All right.